If you love retro video game collecting as much as I do, you should look into flea markets. For those of you who don't know, flea markets are the results of a bunch of people getting together and putting up their old junk for sale. And good for you, this old junk usually includes video games. If you want to start getting into video game collecting, especially retro video game collecting, this is a great way to start. Flea markets are generally super cheap compared to other options like online resellers or video game stores. I have a long history of buying video games from flea markets. I remember my mom volunteering at a kids resale, which is basically a flea market but only for children's items. The selection was mostly made up of clothes, but there was sometimes video games. One year, there was a whole set of Guitar Hero Wii games and controllers. I would show a picture, but I'm pretty sure that my mom got rid of that stuff, since I haven't seen it in years. The whole set included a drum set, 2 guitar controllers, along with the Beatles Rock Band and Guitar Hero 3 games for Wii. All in all, I think this was a really good deal. Since I got this when I was a child, I don't remember how much it cost, and I'm pretty sure my mom bought it anyways. But either way, I thought it was really good, and I love playing those games. Usually though, there was not such a large video game selection. In fact, most years there was none. But one year there was a whopping 2 video games. My mom said that I could only choose one, and it was a pretty tough choice, even looking back on it today. Either Super Paper Mario or Wii Sports Resort. 2 very good games, but I ended up choosing Wii Sports Resort. I didn't have a Motion Plus Wiimote though, so I ended up saving money to get one. But then when I tried to play the game, it didn't work. I mean, that's a risk you take with flea markets. Sometimes you get something only for it to be broken or damaged. Or sometimes someone just takes what you want before you can even buy it. When I was in high school, I went with my mom to my first real flea market. No more kids resale for me. The one thing that caught my eye immediately was a Call of Duty PlayStation 2 with controllers and memory cards for just $20. It was a great deal, but I was hesitant to buy it. First, I'm a Nintendo fan, not a PlayStation fan, and least of all a Call of Duty fan. But on the other hand, I did have an attachment to the PlayStation 2. I grew up playing the PlayStation 1 and 3 at home, and my cousins had a PS2 that I played from time to time. And there were a few PS2 games I kinda sorta wanted to try, so why not? It's $20, let's give it a shot, and it's gone. Yeah, don't wait to buy something at a flea market because someone will swoop in and try to buy it before you. I would say I am a person who does not like spending money, hence I go to flea markets to get a good deal. And you'd be surprised by how many retro video game collectibles you can find at your average flea market. I found one big sale near me where you could pay $10 to get early access, and this was necessary if you want to get the best items, so I paid the fee and showed up bright and early for the sale. Flea market tip number 1. If you want to find something you want, don't hesitate. The second the doors opened, I darted straight to the electronics section, but I found nothing! There was a lot of vintage electronics, but no video game consoles, so then I went straight to the DVDs to see if there were any video games. And there were! Some Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and Wii games were mixed in with the regular old DVDs. Flea market tip number 2. Sometimes you can find the best items by checking under the tables. So I looked under the table in the DVD section, and what did I find? An Xbox 360 with a controller, with all the cables, and with a computer monitor, bundled together for $75. And that wasn't it. I also found an Xbox 360 steering wheel controller for $20. I'd like to amend an earlier statement. I am a person who does not like spending money unless it is on video games. I also bought Forza Motorsport 3 and Red Dead Redemption for the Xbox 360. So every year there's this big flea market that me and my family like to go to. There's so much stuff there that it takes up 2 whole large rooms, and people bring giant bags and wagons to carry their stuff. It is the biggest flea market event in my area, and I'm always super excited to see the selection each year. Flea market tip number 3. Show up earlier than you think you need to. Stuff goes fast, so if you want to look for a specific or rarer items, you have to be the first in line. One year, my family showed up about an hour early, which sounds excessive until you see the full parking lot and extremely long line just 15 minutes before opening. As soon as the doors opened, I darted straight for the electronics section. Under the table were 3 boxes of interest. One held a bunch of retro controllers, basically a box of NES accessories and some Xbox 360 controllers. The second was similar, containing some more Xbox 360 controllers and various other knickknacks. The third box contained the best flea market deal I ever have seen in my life. For just $10, it had an original Xbox, 2 controllers, and 2 lightsabers. I bought that immediately. It didn't come with any cords or games, but that didn't really matter. After looking around and buying the cords I needed and some games I wanted, I was able to start playing the console for about $50 total. And that's the great thing about flea markets. All of the stuff that I bought in total only costs about half as much as a Nintendo Switch. The only issue is that these consoles and games are incredibly old and outdated, but I don't really care about that. It's all about the collecting. Let's finish off the video with some more advice about flea markets. Since most flea markets are small local sales, it can be hard finding ones near you. However, there are key strategies to finding sales in your area. The best way that I found is to just drive around. Most flea markets advertise upcoming sales on busy roads to attract more people. You could also browse online, but this is definitely the least successful strategy for me. I found more from driving than from Googling. Notice the type of buildings where flea markets are held in your area, and then look for similar locations. For some reason, a lot of churches in my area love having flea markets, so I just pay extra close attention to signs put outside of churches. Flea markets are also usually held on a yearly basis, so keep track of when sales happen because it'll probably happen again the next year. I know I said it once, but it needs to be emphasized. Arrive as early as possible. There will be a long line of people even at the smallest ones. Even if you prepaid for early entry, there's still going to be a lot of people there. If you want to get the best possible items, you have to be at the front of the line. If you find something you want, hold on to it. Even if you aren't sure if you want it, take it or someone else will. I would love to talk some more, but I'm about to go to another flea market, so thanks for watching and have a nice day.